Good afternoon, John Verlin again with On-Demand Advertising Solutions, another digital marketing update, podcast number 15. I was going to rant today. I posted this a few days ago on Facebook and Twitter about what really pisses me off, and I had it all planned out, even brought up a post from a former Navy SEAL who was kind of going on about the same thing. I wanted to incorporate his thoughts into mine as well, but I'm going to hold off till next week on my rant, okay? Reason is there was a LinkedIn post this morning, got me kind of excited, and it was from Sir Richard Branson of the Virgin Group, the founder of Virgin Records, Virgin Atlantic Airlines, owns a Virgin Island, and I have an interesting connection with him, actually. My brother was the bass player of the rock and roll band Shooting Star. Back in 1980, they were the first American band to be signed to Virgin Records. And they were even wondering why they were over in London, and they were actually there seeing a friend of ours who we grew up with. But at any rate, so that's my indirect connection to Richard Branson. Back in 1980, Virgin Records signed Shooting Star to a record deal, and they were the first American band to do so, to be signed to Virgin. So that's my connection. But at any rate, Sir Richard had an exciting post I thought was kind of cool. I've put this on this blog, by the way, so you can see a link to their site of what I'm talking about. And by the way, if you haven't followed me yet on Facebook, On-Demand Advertising Solutions is the Facebook page. Go ahead and like me if you would, please, because I've, and also on Twitter, jverlin1, at jverlin1, or I'm sorry, at johnverlin1 is my Twitter handle or whatever. Go ahead and follow me on that if you like. I'm going to be putting a bunch of posts out over the next month, all hours of the day and night that are a little edgy, kind of fun, but it proves some points, hopefully, regarding small business marketing, and I think you'll get a kick out of it. At any rate, Sir Richard put a post out about some of their new podcasts, and I was really excited about that, so I clicked it on and went over, and they have a kind of a cool, it's a link to what they're calling, it's Virgin Atlantic, and it's called the Venture. And they've got a series of podcasts for entrepreneurs and about entrepreneurs. They say, for example, behind every business maverick lies a colorful and thrilling story. And they got some new podcasts are featuring various entrepreneurs and their story, in which they're allowed to kind of dive deep into the background of these people, which is really what podcasting can do that's so great for marketing, because you can really get to know the company, or in your case, as a small business owner, your customers, your prospects can get to know you by getting this diving deep thing going on with a podcast. And that's why I love these. Matter of fact, their head of marketing basically said that podcasts have intrigued us for a while. We know it's a format that resonates with many of our flyers, especially our business travelers, and one that would allow us to dive deep into intriguing pioneers and explore what we can all learn from their stories. And that's what this is about. Content as podcasts that allow you to dive deep and share your company, share your personality, your beliefs, be exposed, so to speak. And that forms a passion, that forms a bond. So it's just a really cool thing that you can do this for your prospects, for your customers, and share your expertise, just like these entrepreneurs with Sir Richard Branson's Maverick feature of podcasts. So podcasting can be many things, but it also, and particularly, you can imagine on an airline flight, and you've got 5 hours of nothing to do, you can catch up on a lot of podcasts, learn a lot, and so can your customers and prospects. It's portable. I was listening to one the other day, one of my own, on my phone, as I'm sure many of you are doing now. So it just gives you a lot of flexibility to do things you can't do as readily in print. Not that that's bad, but you don't even have to have your eyes open. You could be listening to me right now and getting all the nuances as I move up closer and talk softer or get high-pitched and, whatever, get all excited. That's the beauty of a podcast. I try to keep mine under 10 minutes because I know there are some people who have 30-minute to an hour-long podcasts. I don't mind doing that, but I just think smaller segments are better for time because people can save those. They can always go back and listen to them, but it doesn't take up a lot of time, and we're kind of short in today's society for time. People, they move on quickly. So, and I've entitled this blog post, if podcasts are good enough for this billionaire, they're good enough for me. We're seeing more of this. I noticed Bill O'Reilly, was let go of Fox News. He came back the next day with a podcast sort of describing his situation as best he could. So podcasting is becoming more and more, and in this case with this article, that they are intrigued by them, Virgin Atlantic. And they should be, because they were a record label, and they started that way. And it's just that this portable ability to entice and engage your prospects and customers, every small business, in my opinion, should take advantage of this. And now I realize not a lot of marketing firms do this. My background was radio production and advertising and all that, so I kind of know how to do this, and that's okay, but that's why people hire me, because a lot of times, they don't have the time to do this and promote it, but, that's what I'm here for. So if you have the ability, or somebody who can do this, a series of podcasts ongoing every week like I'm doing, great idea, great way to market your company. And that's not going away. I mean, radio's been here forever, and radio stations have been doing podcasting for years. They interview somebody, say, hey, check out our website, and all of a sudden, they're getting a lot of traffic to their website from this. So it's the exact same thing you can do for your business, and this is what I try to do for my clients, is provide that level of expertise that, you may have to go to a radio station or a production company, pay a lot of money to get somebody to produce podcasts or interview you or whatever, or you may have to be running a radio schedule to even get this kind of exposure. But it's well worth it, in my opinion, because you can do a series of them, post them on your website, blog, promote them through video, through social media, however you want to do it, and they're always there to give content and engage people to be able to learn more about you and see more about your business. So podcasting, great idea. I've got a link to Virgin Atlantic, their page about their podcasts from entrepreneurs you can listen to, and you can obviously listen to this and other podcasts that we have on our blog covering different topics. But if you have any questions, I'm at jverlin1, number 1, at yahoo.com. Like I say, if you haven't gone to our Facebook page and liked us, please do so. Go to our Twitter page at jverlin1. At John Verlin. I keep getting at John Verlin1's my handle, and follow us on Twitter. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me, or you can call us at 816-223-2105, and we'll look forward to seeing you again next week for another podcast. And I promise I will be ranting next week about one of the things that really pisses me off about small business that I think needs to be corrected, and we'll go into it a little bit more. And a Navy SEAL, former Navy SEAL, agrees with me, which I'll tell you a little bit about what he thinks too. So hope you have a great week, and we'll see you next week.